Justin Bieber is panicking after discovering what is really happening to his ex, Selena Gomez. The pop star is spiraling behind the scenes after learning that Selena's medical team had to step in, following a dramatic shift in her ongoing health battle. While Justin has tried to keep his distance to respect his new family life, this devastating update has completely shattered his composure. On May 15, 2026, Selena Gomez made a surprise appearance at Space NK in London to promote her rare beauty brand. She walked into the retail store, greeted fans, took photos, and left. On its face, it was a routine promotional event for one of the fastest-growing cosmetics companies in the world. But what happened next was anything but routine. 3 days later, on May 18, a video from the event started circulating on X. Matt Wallace, a content creator with a massive following, posted a clip with the caption putting Selena Gomez in quotation marks, writing that she showed up to a store in the UK and people are noticing something is very off. The quotation marks around her name were pointed. They implied that the woman in the video didn't look like the Selena Gomez people remembered, and from there, the takes exploded. Fans were quick to notice a change in her facial structure, a visibly thinner appearance, cheekbones that seemed to sit higher, a jawline that looked tight and different. Users pointed out that her cheekbones and jawline appeared different from what they were used to seeing. One user on X wrote that she'd changed her face again. Another posted, "My childhood crush no longer looks attractive and innocent." This was not the first time Selena Gomez had been accused of changing her face. Not even close. But the UK appearance hit differently because of how dramatic the change appeared in the video. In before and after photos that fans started circulating on social media, comparing images from 2018 to 2026, her cheekbones seemed to sit higher, and it looked as if her face was being pulled back, similar to the style of a facelift. Many speculated that she was touching her face with fillers, Botox, and cheek contouring to overcorrect the natural fluctuations caused by her health struggles. Some people were genuinely concerned, others were mocking, and the timeline on X turned into a debate about whether what they were seeing was cosmetic surgery, medication side effects, or something else entirely. She was dressed in a mini blue dress and red heels at the event, with her hair tied in a ponytail and hoop earrings completing the look. By all visible measures, Selena Gomez looked like a woman promoting her billion-dollar brand at a retail store. But the internet had already made up its mind that something was wrong. Now, this is where Justin Bieber enters the picture, because even though he and Selena ended their relationship years ago, the internet has never stopped linking them. They dated on and off for the better part of a decade, and anytime something happens to one, the other trends. So when these videos started going viral, people immediately started tagging Bieber, asking him if he'd seen what happened to his ex, speculating about what he thought, and creating entire narratives about his reaction. But before we can understand why this matters, we need to go back to the relationship that made these two inseparable in pop culture, and to the health crisis that has quietly shaped everything Selena Gomez has done since. Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber had an on and off relationship that spanned from the summer of 2010 to early March 2018. That's nearly 8 years. They were introduced by their managers in 2009, and by the time they were photographed holding hands in late 2010, the world had already decided they were meant to be together. In late November 2010, Justin and Selena were celebrating Thanksgiving together with Gomez's family. In December 2010, they were spotted holding hands and cuddling. Both of them initially downplayed the relationship, insisting they were just close friends. But in January 2011, they were spotted getting intimate on a private yacht in St. Lucia for New Year's Eve. By late February that year, Bieber and Gomez made their public debut as a couple at the Vanity Fair Oscars party and were even spotted kissing in a photo booth. What followed was one of the most scrutinized celebrity relationships of the 2010s. Every paparazzi photo, every social media post, every concert appearance together was analyzed to the pixel. 3 months later, Gomez was Bieber's date at the Billboard Music Awards and kissed him when he won an award. They were the golden couple of a generation that grew up watching them on YouTube and Disney Channel simultaneously. But the intensity came with a cost. Ever since they made their relationship official, Gomez started to get a lot of hate from her boyfriend's fanbase. She even received death threats and negative comments on social media. The Beliebers, fiercely loyal to Justin, viewed Selena as an intruder. She was attacked relentlessly online, and the pressure that created was immeasurable for someone who was still in her late teens and early 20s at the time. The relationship was plagued by instability. Their first breakup was sparked by rumors that Justin had cheated on his girlfriend back in 2012. They reconciled, then split again. They went on to reconcile in 2015 and proceeded to date for a few turbulent years, with both stars releasing music about one another and their tumultuous romance. Every breakup generated tabloid headlines. Every reunion generated more. The cycle was relentless and deeply public. The pair officially called it quits for good in May 2018, when Selena was 26 and Justin was 24. Although the reason for their split was never made public, numerous reports and insiders at the time claimed that the relationship had been unhealthy for a while. Other sources claimed that no one really supported their relationship following their many breakups. And then came the part that stunned the world. Just weeks after his final breakup with Selena, Justin popped the question to Hailey Baldwin while they were vacationing in the Bahamas. Justin and Hailey tied the knot in a civil ceremony at a New York City courthouse and had a formal ceremony with friends and family about a year later in 2019. Selena processed all of this publicly. In late 2019, Gomez released 2 songs, Lose You to Love Me and Look at Her Now, that were written about the end of her long-term relationship with Bieber. She later hinted during interviews that she had been mentally abused by Bieber in the past, and that their relationship was extremely toxic. In January 2020, she released an album called Rare, in which she talks about going through depression after her breakup with Bieber. That album would later become the seed for something much bigger. The word rare wasn't just an album title. It became a philosophy, a brand, and eventually a billion-dollar empire. But at the time, nobody knew that. At the time, the world just saw a heartbroken woman putting her pain into music. And all of this, the heartbreak, the public humiliation, the death threats, was happening while Selena Gomez was fighting a battle with her own body that most people didn't understand at all. The reason Selena Gomez's appearance keeps changing, the reason her face looks different every time she steps in front of cameras, is not a simple story about a celebrity going under the knife. The reality is far more complex, far more painful, and far less understood by the people who keep posting comparison photos online. Selena Gomez was diagnosed with lupus around 2013. Lupus is a chronic autoimmune disease that can attack joints, skin, organs, and other parts of the body. In the simplest terms, something goes wrong with the immune system. Instead of the immune system fighting off things like infection and cancer, that is what was happening inside Selena Gomez's body. While she was performing on stages, walking red carpets, and navigating an on and off relationship with one of the biggest pop stars on the planet, she would get fevers, headaches, and fatigue. But she always just kept going. She told Today's Savannah Guthrie in a 2017 interview that she kind of ignored it. "I don't think I made the right decisions because I didn't accept it," she said. She knew the symptoms were there, she felt them daily, but she pushed through because that's what the industry demanded, and that's what the cameras expected. In 2016, Gomez canceled the remaining dates of her tour. When complications from her lupus caused her additional anxiety and depression, the media speculated wildly about why she disappeared. Some people assumed it was about Justin. Others guessed she was dealing with personal drama. Very few understood that she was receiving medical treatment for a disease that was eating her alive from the inside. Then came the worst of it. Her doctors told her she had lupus nephritis, one of the most common complications of lupus. They said she would be needing a kidney transplant. Gomez herself admitted that she didn't fully understand what that meant at first. "Maybe I wasn't necessarily really good at knowing what that meant. So it actually got to a point where it was life or death," she said. Let that sink in. Life or death. While the tabloids were tracking her relationship status and fans were debating which Justin Bieber song was about her, Selena Gomez was staring down the possibility of organ failure at 24 years old. In September 2017, Selena Gomez shared on Instagram that she'd undergone a kidney transplant and that the kidney was donated by her good friend, actress Francia Raiza. "She gave me the ultimate gift and sacrifice by donating her kidney to me," Gomez wrote. The announcement sent a shockwave through the media. Millions of people had no idea she had been that sick. The scar from the surgery stretched across her lower abdomen, a permanent reminder of how close she had come to the edge. But the transplant was not the end of the medical story. The transplant helped move her lupus into remission for some time. But Gomez said in her 2022 Apple TV Plus documentary, My Mind and Me, that she had a flare-up in 2020. Lupus flare-ups can cause swelling, weight fluctuation, puffiness in the face, and changes in physical appearance that are entirely beyond a person's control. She has also been open about her bipolar disorder diagnosis, adding yet another layer to a health journey that would overwhelm most people. The medications she takes, immunosuppressants to protect the transplanted kidney, treatments for lupus, medications for bipolar disorder, all carry side effects. Lupus patients have to take drugs and have periodic checkups over many years, and these medications can have numerous side effects. Weight gain, swelling, facial puffiness, skin changes. These are not cosmetic choices. These are pharmaceutical realities. And this is where the conversation about her UK appearance takes on a different dimension, because when people post comparison photos of Selena Gomez from 2018 next to photos from 2026 and caption them with shock and accusations of surgical overreach, they're comparing a 26-year-old woman on post-transplant medications to a 33-year-old woman who has lived through nearly a decade of autoimmune warfare, mood disorder treatment, and the kind of physical upheaval that most people never experience. The autoimmune disease has affected her voice as well as her appearance. It has reshaped her body in ways that are impossible to separate from the medications she takes to stay alive. And yet every time she steps out in public, the first thing people do is compare her face to a photo from 8 years ago and demand an explanation. Here's what's worth understanding about Selena Gomez in 2026. While the internet debates whether her face looks different, she has quietly built one of the most successful businesses in the beauty industry's history. Rare Beauty launched in September 2020, exclusively at Sephora, with just 12 products. The entire brand philosophy was built around a single idea: beauty does not require perfection. For someone who had spent years being publicly judged for how her body changed, for how her face looked different from one red carpet to the next, the message wasn't manufactured, it was autobiographical. It was rooted in the scars from the transplant, the puffiness from the medications, the weight fluctuations from the lupus flare-ups, and it resonated with millions of people who had been waiting for a beauty brand that didn't make them feel inadequate for not looking perfect. The growth was staggering. By 2019, Selena Gomez's net worth was $75 million. In July 2023, thanks to Rare Beauty, that estimate jumped to $800 million. In September 2024, Selena officially became a billionaire. Bloomberg added Gomez to its Billionaires Index in September 2024 at $1.3 billion. Forbes disputes this, estimating her net worth closer to $700 to $800 million, with the difference depending on how analysts value her private equity stake in Rare Beauty. But whether the number is 700 million or 1.3 billion, the compound annual growth rate of her wealth from 2020 to 2024 was approximately 90% per year. That is not a typo. 90% annual growth from a makeup line, and the key distinction is this: most celebrity beauty brands are licensing deals where the celebrity earns royalties, but controls nothing. Gomez owns Rare Beauty. She controls the brand, the product development, and the strategic direction. Her 51% ownership stake in the company is estimated to be worth between $663 million and over $1 billion on its own. That ownership structure is the difference between being rich and being wealthy, between income and equity, between getting a check and owning the building. Beyond Rare Beauty, the portfolio expanded relentlessly. She earns a reported $4 to $6 million per season as the star and executive producer of Only Murders in the Building on Hulu, which is now in its 5th season. She's the most followed woman on Instagram with over 420 million followers, at an estimated $1.7 million per sponsored post. Even a modest cadence of brand partnerships generates 8 figures annually. She became an owner and investor in the ice cream brand Serendipity, co-founded the mental health platform Wondermind, and maintained endorsement deals with brands like Puma, Coach, and Louis Vuitton. And on a personal level, she found the stability that had eluded her during the Bieber years. Selena married producer Benny Blanco in September 2025, in a ceremony that combined 2 of the music industry's most productive careers into a single household. Their first awards show appearance as a married couple came at January's Golden Globes, where Gomez opted for a feathered Chanel dress. Blanco has been vocal about his love for Selena, telling one podcast that her heart and the way she treats everybody is his favorite thing about her. This is the Selena Gomez that walked into that London store on May 15. Not a woman in crisis, not a woman falling apart. A billionaire, a wife, a beauty mogul, a television star. and a woman who has survived more physical and emotional turmoil in 33 years than most people experience in a lifetime. And yet, what trended on the internet was not her empire. What trended was whether her cheekbones looked different. So what is really happening to Selena Gomez? Let's put together everything we've covered and answer the question the title asked. Her face has changed, that is not in dispute. In before and after photos on social media from 2018 to 2026, her cheekbones seem to sit higher, and it looks as if her face is being pulled back. Whether those changes are entirely attributable to the effects of lupus, the medications she takes, the natural process of aging, or whether some cosmetic procedures have played a role, that answer is something only Selena Gomez and her doctors possess. What we do know is that lupus is a disease that affects appearance, can cause visible physical changes, and that judging someone's appearance without understanding the medical context behind it is irresponsible at best. The reaction to the UK appearance was not uniform. For every person attacking her appearance, there was someone defending her. Some praised Gomez for looking radiant, writing things like, "Leave Selena alone. She's building an empire and glowing with confidence." Others stressed she's talented, kind, and building her own empire while battling real health issues. The constant mocking of successful women needs to stop. Some users slammed the Matt Wallace tweet itself, with one writing, "This guy posts any random celeb video, adds creepy music and goes, 'What do you notice?' pointing out the manipulative framing that suggested something sinister about a woman promoting her brand at a retail event. And this was not even the only appearance-related controversy Selena dealt with in 2026. Earlier in the year, in April, pregnancy rumors had surfaced after she attended a rare beauty event in Los Angeles. She had worn a Prada mini dress with a structured, boxy silhouette, and the design, with its boxy cut and layered detailing, created a naturally voluminous shape that made people wonder if she was expecting. However, there was no truth to those claims. Gomez has expressed her desire to embrace motherhood someday, but she has indicated that surrogacy or adoption may be her path, likely due to the complications of her lupus and the medications she requires. Even her reproductive choices are shaped by the disease. In 2025, the singer had already raised eyebrows after sharing a mirror selfie looking super slim, wearing a crop tube top and matching black skin-tight leggings. The cycle repeats endlessly. She gains weight. People blame the medications or speculate about pregnancy. She loses weight. People accuse her of surgery or extreme dieting. Her face looks fuller. It's the steroids. Her face looks thinner. She had work done. There is no version of Selena Gomez's body that the internet will allow to simply exist without interrogation. Now, as for Justin Bieber, the panic framed in the title is, in reality, something far more nuanced than a single dramatic reaction. Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez dated on and off for approximately 8 years. From 2010 to 2018, the relationship directly inspired some of her most personal music, including The Heart Wants What It Wants, and Gomez has since stated she is happy and at peace with how things unfolded. Justin married Hailey Baldwin in 2018. And the two have built their own life together. Selena married Benny Blanco in 2025. Both have moved on in every concrete, measurable way. But the internet hasn't moved on, and therein lies the actual story. Every time something happens to Selena, a health scare, a viral photo, a changed appearance, people immediately loop Justin Bieber into the narrative. They tag him, they create reaction videos, they fabricate emotional responses, they take whatever genuine concern or curiosity exists about Selena's well-being and weaponize it into clickbait about her ex-boyfriend. The truth is that what's really happening to Selena Gomez is this. She is a 33-year-old woman living with a chronic autoimmune disease that nearly killed her, taking medications that alter her appearance as a necessary side effect of keeping her alive, running a beauty company worth billions of dollars, married to a man she loves, and continuing to work in film and TV at the highest level. She is also inevitably aging, something every human being does, but something that female celebrities are uniquely punished for doing publicly. She grew up watching her mother count coins for gas money. She is now worth more than most hedge fund managers. She survived lupus, a kidney transplant, bipolar disorder, a toxic public relationship, death threats from fans, and the kind of media scrutiny that has destroyed lesser careers. And yet what went viral this week was not any of that. What went viral was a video with creepy music overlaid, quotation marks around her name, and a caption that said something was very off. Maybe what's very off isn't Selena Gomez. Maybe what's very off is the way we consume women in public life, cataloging every pore, every pound, every line on their face, while they're busy building empires and surviving diseases that most of us couldn't endure for a week. That's what's really happening to Selena Gomez. And if Justin Bieber is paying any attention at all, which honestly he probably isn't because he has his own life, his own wife, and his own responsibilities, the only thing worth feeling is what the rest of us should feel. Respect for a woman who refuses to be defined by her worst moments, her hardest diagnoses, or the opinions of strangers on the internet.